Cat introductions are complicated and time-consuming. But hey, guess what? If you're at this point, you're almost done. Things are easier from here on out. You should be really proud because this is really hard to do. I work with cats professionally, and the bulk of my business is fixing these situations gone wrong. Good work. But you still have a little bit left to make sure that your cats can actually live together, so don't celebrate too hard yet. At this point, your cats should be in the same room as each other, distracted, very distracted. You're still in the party phase. We're going to begin removing the scaffolding and letting your cats begin to have a little bit more freedom slowly and gradually. Like with the entire rest of this process, where people make mistakes with this part is trying to go too fast. I know you're tired, but if you go too quickly, you may end up with lifelong tension. Read, behavior problems, having to redo this part, or even it just not working out. There's just a little bit left, so hold on for just a little bit longer. It'll be worth it. Before we get to reducing structure, one important step to take. Have the cats meet with lots of distractions and play their way through different parts of your home. This matters because you want to make sure that the cats aren't only comfortable seeing each other in the room that you've been using. This also reduces the risk of a surprise happening when the cats see each other in an area that they don't expect to see each other, such as a spare bedroom, hallway, or somewhere else they haven't seen before. It may seem excessive, but I've had multiple clients who've tried skipping this part, and they end up having to go way backwards and add months, not an exaggeration, months, onto the process. This part doesn't need to take that long. A few play sessions in each area, which you may be able to do combined with each other, where you just kind of go through your home and different areas and have the cats playing, are sufficient. Once you've done that, you can begin gradually removing the structure from the meetings. Let the cats have a bit of a break and then re-engage them. Don't be too aggressive with how long these breaks last. Start with short ones, think 10 seconds even, and then steadily increase the length of time that the cats have a break. It's better to go too slowly so you are positive that your cats are okay, to have more time unstructured than to go too quickly. Have them demonstrate with their behavior that they are fine. At some point, the cats may try playing with each other. How do you tell if it's playing or fighting? And get ready to have your world rocked. Sometimes it might be both. This can be tough to tell, but generally play is quietish, inhibited, and mutual. The cats will take turns chasing each other, their claws will be in, and they will take little pauses. They may also switch positions where one cat is on top of the other and the other is on the ground. There should be no tail thrashing and definitely no growling or hissing. Fights are typically constant without pauses. The cats may have their ear back and their fur may puff out. They also can be kind of loud. Usually if it's a really obvious fight, it's pretty clear, but there are exceptions to that. All of that said, it's possible the cats may exist in a sort of twilight zone between play and fighting, where they're kind of doing a little bit of both. In fact, there have been studies showing that this happens not infrequently. So just because your cats aren't growling and don't have a thrashing tail doesn't mean it's play. It might be really tense play, which is still worth keeping a close eye on. Whether or not you need to break it up depends a lot on your individual situation. So if you want individual advice, it's worth contacting a professional and working with them to get their take on it. One myth that I want to correct here: it's not normal for cats to have 1 or 2 fights to establish dominance. Cat social structure just isn't hierarchical, so there isn't an alpha cat. That's not a real thing. Anyone who claims this doesn't really understand cat behavior as much as they say. It should raise a pretty big red flag for you. I have a whole separate video in the works on that specific topic, so I'll just leave it there for now, but there isn't an alpha cat. Dominance isn't a thing in the cat world, at least not how we think of it. Follow the same pattern you have been, of increasing the amount of time that the cats can be left to their own devices, with occasional distraction and interruption from you to ensure good things are still happening. Pay attention to how and where they spend time, because that may clue you into territory-related conflict. A common mistake people make is, if they suspect territory-related conflict, is to cut one cat off from a resource or try to force them to share the resource. The better approach is to make sure there are more resources and add in more places for the cats. This can be particularly problematic in spaces that are the bane of my existence. Hallways and stairs. I hate hallways and stairs more than any normal person would because they make it so much harder for cats to pass each other and easy for cats to accidentally cut each other off from a resource. They create a lot of problems in multi-cat homes. Thankfully, there are ways that you can make it work. Adding cat shelves creates a second pathway for the cats to circumvent each other. An alternative if you're a renter and you really can't add cat shelves in is something like a console table. Think a narrow table that ideally has one or two surfaces that the cat can walk on. Usually they add storage for you too, so it serves a purpose for you, and generally they look nice. Other things like shoe racks or holders can work as well, so look and see what meets the need of having a flat surface that the cat can walk on and is fairly narrow. Sometimes adding a cat tree at the top or bottom of your stairs or on a landing can help diffuse tension surrounding stairs. And honestly, the same concept applies to hallways. At this point, a lot of things can happen. You're getting pretty close to being towards the end, and your cats may just kind of blend, so it's up to you how much of a risk you want to take at this point. If they seem okay and there are no signs of conflict, and they're often caught when you're not there spending time with each other, and you're positive you're not misreading them, you can let them be in the same space as each other for longer and longer. You may not even recognize that you've completed the integration. That's actually what happened with me. I fell asleep for a nap one day, and I had Poutine and Prozac out with supervision, and when I woke up, they were both fine, so I kind of just stopped doing the introduction without thinking about it. If you're nervous or unsure, continue to fade the structure and let them spend time without you intervening for longer and longer. When it comes to leaving them unsupervised when you can't intervene, start low risk by taking a walk around the block or leaving just very briefly. Extend this time as they prove with their behavior that this is fine. Consider a pet camera if you want to keep an eye on them just in case. The same applies when you're sleeping. On one hand, letting them stay together while you're sleeping is somewhat lower risk than while you leave the home, as a really serious fight may wake you up. That said, you also don't want to rely on that, and you'll be asleep for a few hours, so you can't control the length of time as easily, and you can't cut anything off if you're not awake. Starting with a nap may be better like I did, even if it wasn't an intentional nap. Yes, the last part of this process is to take a nap. You've put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. Honestly, you've earned it. Cat introductions are not easy to do successfully. Don't listen to anyone who says it's as easy as throwing the cats in the same room as each other. They tend to have cats that show signs of tension with each other. Every behavior consultant I know consistently reports that their top behavior they help people with is inner cat tension or introductions gone wrong. Unfortunately, a lot of information out there is not great, and it's really hard to figure out how to make it work without your cats being stressed the heck out. I hope that you found this series helpful and that you have had a successful introduction, and now you can focus on creating mini cozy memories with your little cat family. And seriously, don't feed your cats near each other.